What's up, guys? That Really Ghost Guy here, and we are back playing Warframe, and I'm excited about today's topic a little bit. It is, it's something that is going to start out as something that has been leaked-ish, and at the same time it is going to evolve into something that we might be seeing in Warframe when it comes to like how we should navigate, or not necessarily navigate like physically, but navigate like stat wise and maybe like energy wise. I'm mostly focusing on energy consumption and stuff like that, but this is definitely going to have to do with other stats as well. But one of those things being is this mod that kind of people caught wind of, and I believe this was at TennoCon, which somehow people managed to notice this mod, which is similar to like the Division, and I don't play World of Warcraft, but I heard that World of Warcraft does it too. Oh, Diablo does it. Diablo does it, and those are set mods or set equipment. So let's say you get a piece of gear, or you get a mod that has a set list attached to it. And what I mean by set list is, for instance, in Division, you could get like the Predator leg holster something or other. And then you could get the Predator vest, and then the Predator backpack, or whatever. So if you get a set, so if you get two of the same item set of the Predator equipment, you would get some kind of bonus. You get three, you get an additional bonus. You get four, you get an additional bonus, and so on and so forth. So this mod that has kind of been leaked-ish, which we don't know for sure is coming to game or not. It's definitely going to be subject to testing and stuff in the future. But it looks like if you get a full set, or you get multiples of these mods, you would get a bonus tied to it. And those bonuses could be something such as some kind of energy replenishment bonus, or shield replenishment bonus, health regen, stuff like that. Maybe even you get multiple sets of a thing. You get bonus crit chance, or stuff along those lines. So let's say, for instance, the one mod that I saw was every ability cast would refund shields based on how much energy was consumed. So if I were to use, let's say if I used my let's say my ultimate. Let's not think about Trinity's Blessing for a moment, but let's say I use my ultimate, which casts 100 energy to use, and based on that 100 energy, I would refund 12% of that ability cast as shields, or as health, or whatever. Then I would get that refunded to me. So let's say I use an ultimate, I refund 12% health based on 100% of the energy used. So I would receive 12 health back. Or let's say it's 12% of every 1 energy or something, some kind of ratio. I would receive some kind of health regeneration based on how much energy I consumed. That's kind of cool. It's something that is going to, be interesting for long-lasting in maybe missions, or kind of changing the way we decide to mod our frames and our weapons and stuff like that. With that said, if you add extra, like I said, if you get 2 out of the set, you'll get additional health regeneration. You get 3 out of the set, you get even more health regeneration, so on and so forth. So that sounds very interesting. Now, these are game mechanics that possibly could be coming to help do more endgame type builds and stuff like that. However, I think some of this stuff is going to be necessary for us to be able to play an extended amount of time in our new open world, which you guys, I'm sure, know about. If not, I don't know what rock you've been hiding under, but open world is coming to Warframe. So, I could imagine if no tweaks were made to our gameplay, it would be a little bit more difficult to stay a significant amount of time out in the open world if we didn't have a good way to replenish, let's say, our energy or replenish our health and other stuff like that. Now, we do have our energy pizzas. We do have, you know, rejuvenation. We do have our energy siphons and stuff like that. But let's say we're using a frame that doesn't really allow for that, or our builds don't necessarily allow for that. Or we're not running with a friend that is running a Trinity or something like that, so we can't really replenish it. I feel like these types of mods that allow for sustainability is going to be important, because the idea is the developers want the players to spend as much time in-game as possible. So the point of that is, obviously, this open world is going to be really important when it comes to that. A lot of people tend to run a couple missions or this or that, and they go, you know, I really don't want to start up another mission. I'm going to call it a day. But open worlds are great for people being able to jump into the game and not get bored, not have to go through a matchmaking system or something like that to find a new game, and just exist in the open world and just continue playing because they don't feel like they've been removed from the environment and kind of have to jump back into it. And that's one thing that happens to me for a lot of, like, multiplayer games like Call of Duty and stuff like that, is I'll play 5, 6, 7 games, whatever, and then I go, I think I'm good. I'm sitting in matchmaking and I go, it's gonna take me a minute, 2 minutes to find a game. I think I'm good for the day. But I find myself playing games, open world games, that I'm just like playing and playing and playing, and time gets away from me because those moments in time where I'm taken out of the experience don't happen. So it's really important. I feel like that's one thing that Digital Extremes is taking note of and trying to change the game, because the fact that we have to jump in and out of missions kind of takes us out of the experience, and they know for sure that something needs to change when it comes to that. And open world is a great way to fix that. Now, like I was saying, is if you're out there in the open world and you run out of energy, you're like, oh, now I gotta go back to camp, or you run out of energy pizzas or something like that, you're like, I gotta go back to camp, I gotta rebuild, do this and that. The foundry, it's gonna take 5-10 minutes for me to get my gear all situated, get all my pizzas made. I think I'm gonna call it a day. So I think things like that, like special mods, or, you know, these sets or whatever, that elongate our time in the open world, or just help maximize endgame stuff, so that endgame players are not getting bored just absolutely plowing through low-level enemies. I feel like it's going to be, wow, that thing obliterated me. That type of stuff is going to be very important. So possibly these set mods or whatever that possibly are coming to the game might help with that. Obviously, the open world is going to help with that, but the point I'm trying to make is Digital Extremes is trying to maximize some of our endgame, trying to do so in ways of what kind of gameplay are we going to be playing, so that endgame players actually have a challenge, and they also are not just blowing through early game enemies. And like I said, just having to go back to their ship over and over and over again, and just get a little too bored of what's going on in game. So I feel like that's important. I feel like we're going to see changes like that. Also, we definitely need to see some changes made to how we build our Warframes. And I think, like I said, the set mods are a big drastic change to how endgame players are going to build their frames from now on. So I don't know, I'm excited about it. Obviously these mods are probably going to be fairly rare. At least certain ones out of the set are probably going to be fairly rare. So there is going to be some more grinding required to probably acquire these mods, just like Rivens. Hopefully it's not going to be like you can only get one a day, you know, if you're lucky, one a day based on like a sortie-based thing. I would like to see the ability to kind of get these through achievements or challenges or something like that, rather than like just RNG, just dumb luck. I've talked about this way back when I made a video on I would like to see things in the game such as achievements. And what I mean by achievements are enemies killed by air gliding or bullet time or something like that. When you reach a certain amount using a certain weapon or with a certain frame or using a certain ability in tandem with certain things, you would acquire an achievement. And not just like a gamer score. I'm talking like maybe a slight increase in stats or something like that. Think about something as though, the example I think I made at the time was, let's say your Loki sends out a decoy, and your decoy, any enemy that you kill that is currently firing upon your decoy will count towards a certain, certain achievement or requirement. So let's say 100 enemies distracted by a decoy, that would be killed, would earn you, let's say, a slight ability duration, or let's see, maybe I'm trying to think of something that wouldn't kill your build. Let's say you're running like a negative duration for some reason for certain frames, then you may not want to achieve certain achievements that that would increase your duration. So these would have to be very very fine-tuned so that anyone could achieve these without kind of sabotaging their build. Now, one way I think of achieving this would maybe be a point-based system where you get an achievement and you get 1 point, and this point could be put into any type of ability, strength, duration, efficiency, or it could be put into a weapon, or maybe your armor on your frame, or your energy level on your frame, or something like that. I think that would be kind of cool. It would kind of create this endgame achievement status that you might want to achieve with, your warframes or your weapons or something like that, to achieve that little bit of, advantage. You know what I mean? But I think there's going to be little aspects like this, as well as those set mods, that are going to be important for maybe some endgame players, so that we're not just running mission after mission after mission. Like I said, this open world is gonna be great for that immersion, so that we don't get taken out of the game and decide to leave. Because I am so excited to just do some cool open world stealth, sniper, long range bow stuff. That to me, that challenge is going to be the really fun part of this open world, and maybe you guys. So let me know, what do you guys think about that kind of idea of what we're going to see when it comes to new content to help endgame players? Do you guys have any ideas? And what do you think about these new set mods? I wanted to talk about Trinity a little bit, but unfortunately, I just got carried away. So hopefully we'll get another video done here with Trinity. We can talk about her, but I'm going to keep on going with the content. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, blow!